Eso fue lo que dijiste tú. No era amor, no era amor, pero a mí sí me partió en dos. No era amor. Eso fue lo.
It was very sad to see Nihal Sarin actually struggling this much in FIDE World Cup, but he was one of the people who would have actually had a chance to win the entire thing. And in this position, he had only one move to be able to get an advantage, and this was the only opportunity in the entire game where he was better, and that move was knight to g5. But unfortunately, he did not play it. Knight to f3 was the idea. After knight to e4, you just go castles, and after knight e to f6, just bishop to c1. And you have this queen caps on h5, so you are, threatening something in this position. After rook to e1, just go for e4, and if rook caps on e4, knight captures, queen captures, the exchange is given back and you're not down in exchange, and you have some counterplay to be able to go for something. But after knight to d2, here queen to c2 was played by Nihal, and queen to c2 is not a good move, because here after bishop to c1, now knight to f6 was played by Nihal. F3, we have e4. He still tries to open up lines but gets himself in a bad position, because here queen to b3 asking for a trade, and if he trades queens, then he's down in exchange in a completely losing position. Queen to d3 was played, but now just comes c4, and the queen trade is forced. You cannot go ahead, and there is no other square where you can avoid the trade. Here queen caps on b3 was played, now just comes knight captures, knight to e5 now, and here just f caps on e4. We have knight captures, castles in this position, but you don't have anything other than trying something, because you're down in exchange and you're materially down. Positionally, you're not better either. Here just f3 was tried by Nihal to try and go for something, but it doesn't work. Just g caps on f3. We have knight to g3 attacking the rook, rook to f2, and just knight caps on h5. So he is able to grab a pawn, but it's not going to be enough. Here knight to d4, rook to c8 was played, trying to go after another pawn, but just even knight to e6 check is completely enough to win the game, because after king to f7 you have c5, and after knight to f6 just go for c caps on d6, bishop captures, rook to a7 check, bishop blocks, but just bishop to b2, and that knight is under attack. If you go for this knight caps on d5, maybe hoping that you can just win this, then just comes knight caps on g7, just grabbing a pawn, king captures, bishop caps on e5, and after king to g6, just rook is coming there, attacking this, attack defender of the bishop, and you're just completely lost. But here just c5 directly was played, and is this as equally as winning? Yes, it is, because here after d caps on c5, knight to e6 check was played, king to f7, and rook to a7 was played, but knight to f6, knight to g5 check. And the trouble is, this is much more brutal, because here after king to f8, again this rook come in, and that knight is under attack. Knight move, but just d6, bishop captures, knight to e6 check, king moves, but even rook caps on g7 with a check, king to h8, and after this bishop to b2, you're just completely lost. Here knight to f4 was tried, but now just comes bishop captures, knight caps on e2, king is attacking this. There is so many discoveries in the position. After h5, rook to c7 check was played, king to g8, rook caps on c8, and after this here just king caps on e2 was played, and now here Nihal resigned the game. As heartbreaking as it was, he will definitely come back stronger.